On day one, everything falls right into place. Rosie, here's our opening ride of round one, heat 3.
Kanoa O'Leary just knifing under that lip, stands tall with the spit. So what a way to open up his campaign in heat 3 here. So watch him as he just feels the rhythm and escapes that foam ball. But you can tell from the elation, the surfers today are just loving their jobs. The knifey edge and the pull under the hood here almost catches that rail, does well to re-engage the fins. Disappears from view. I think this is going to be, you know, you talk about setting the scale in a heat. This is a great way to start this. This number is going to...
He says he gets a lot of tears on the other line, and for Jake Marshall, the moment of his life, dream come true. And it's time to start over and get moving. If he wants to keep the dream alive, meanwhile, he puts the wild in wild card.
John, Leo Fioravanti, as we watch Barron pull in.
No hands.
No hands, no grab. Deep spit. Great way to open up.
Just the judges thought they had a nice, easy start to the day.
Let go of the rail right there. Just that level of comfort. Re-engages with it. Stays small. Gets a little shampoo. Doesn't quite get that forward momentum to find the exit.
Barron Mamiya again releasing his hand from the rail, pumping through.
Oh my God.
That was not a replay, folks. That was just...
that he goes to that he just knows so well. Let's see the read on this one. There we go. Disengages that hand, starts to weave, gets a lot of speed. So that speed management from him, insane. I mean, what has he got in his score? An 8.17? This one, better than that. Look at that confidence. Just kind of does the hair whip there. Spray, disappears from view. Striders throwing shuckers. It's all happening, but...
I know
Does this go into the 9s? Where does this go? Because the 8.17, I think this is better. Watch that weight as he leans forward. Gains his composure, lets the rail go, stands straight up. Knows that he's got to weave. Weaving through it. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's so beautiful to watch him make it look so easy.
Just looks towards the beach like, yeah. Thank you for the wild card. And I'm sorry to the rest of the surfers in this contest for what I'm about to do. He will be deadly in this competition. And he's got plenty of time in this heat as we go to Seth Moniz.
Wow.
Boom.
Get another look at Seth as he locks in on the second wave. Shifts that weight forward, stands with the hands free. Comes out in the top third of that wave. Just so well read. There's definitely a clear difference between the guys that have spent hours and hours of time out here in the lineup and the way that they read this wave and their body language and just their...
He saw his buddy Barron do it earlier. He goes, you know what, we're just going to keep this kind of a local affair. He dropped another big score. But watch out, Kanoa Igarashi grabs his rail, in danger, comes out with the spit. So the training already looking like it's paying.
Milana.
I mean, if you're a...
This was insane. Watch that. Late under the hood. Pulling that rail.
I mean, that's textbook. Both those waves back to back. And this is where the judges really have their work cut out because they're similar rides, but vastly different in terms of the look of the wave.
But everything that Kanoa did, I mean, was so premeditated. The way that his foot was way out on that outer rail just to make sure that it engaged and clipped into the face of the wave. The way that he pumped under the hood over there and just kept his composure on that foam board and with that spit.
He put these smaller wave, rode it clean. That'll be a number on the board for him. And meanwhile, Seth Moniz letting the rail go again. Crowd goes wild.
He's got more to give. How quick was that takeoff and just pulling the hand off the rail? That moment, just you can hear the shutters going off on the beach. The photographers keeping that moment. His inbox is going to fill up with all the photos of his amazing heat this morning. Even Kanoa, I mean, you can't help yourself when you're in the channel and you're seeing one of your really good friends get spat out of the tube.
And that's just full respect for an impossible.
Welcome back to the Billabong Pro Pipeline. The action's been heavy. We're starting off here with Joao Chianca live action and coming out of a pipeline cavern, Chumbino. We're here at the Billabong Pro Pipeline. This happened during the break with a veteran. Jadson Andre found the barrel himself, Rosie.
Yeah, also loving his job. A lot of speed through that little section.
John Florence is in this heat.
Oh, love it. No grab. Doesn't quite find the exit though, but a good glimpse of what we're in for.
And another look at this brilliant backhand barrel ride, Rosie.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. I mean, the fact that he didn't grab his rail until he was under that lip, Caps. Seeing a lot of pump through there. Grabs it there, well negotiated. Very technical.
And if you were to look at the championship tour, this is some of the new spices and flavors that we're going to see for 2022. Exciting young rookies like Joao Chianca.
It's been so fun. That Challenger Series, the way that it ended at Haleiwa, it was so emotional just seeing, you know, the rookies get checked off the list. Like, hey, you've
coming through here, hitting the reef at Ehukai. John on the turn. Here he goes, slides down the face, little sliding on the bottom, parks himself perfectly and gets the exit, finds that door.
For John's wave as he exits the tube, but finds that one out the back. Just laces through this wave so well, knifes out of it. Really uses that projection from that top half of the wave to get the speed to avoid that lip line in the Ehukai gum section. Man, just so beautiful watching this wave.
Just the ability to manage his tube time and maximizing it, staying in there just until the last moment to escape for the completion.
But knowing how hard to pull up on that wave too, to avoid that lip and outrace it before it lands on his head too, is just so impeccable. You watch him and then he just kind of thrusts up.
Just masterfully done. And this timing right here, sneak out just in time.
Just in time. And Joao did the same thing. I mean, the knifey out of the
Pro pipeline. 8 minutes on the clock, and here goes John once again. Let's enjoy this. And extra section, he's out. A souvenir. Replay.
Here we go. John gets that little puck up of speed before he just does some travel time under the curtain. Looks like he's having the time of his life. I mean, it just shows it's exuding out of his body language. Just time stands still, I think, for John. I think for a lot of people, they just looking for that exit. They just want to get the ride over and done with, where John has that ability to slow things down, just take every aspect of it in and really just adjust to what the wave is doing.
And that adjustment there, evident in the slow motion, to get that bonus section on this elongated pipeline wave, that is just
your old body. You know, he's kept himself in good shape. Here we go, Kipes.
Robo, Jack Robinson driving through and comes out easily. And if Slater needed any motivation, there you go, Tor. Here's some replays.
Well, one thing that's a good dynamic in this heat, because Robo and Kelly have a good relationship. You know, these guys are buddies. They're going to be inspired by each other. So Kelly's going to be frothing, and this is just textbook. What Jack did on this drop right here was an extreme amount of talent being displayed. How late he was, how much
through here. Slater's looking interested in backdoor. And here he goes. Slater stretching out, big cabin through backdoor second section. No problem for Kelly Slater. Oh, beautiful carve. And here's Kelly's backdoor opener.
Drainer. I mean, that's just a drainer. Look how shallow the reef is right there. It's just a couple feet deep underneath him. So it's going to be a great start for Kelly. Like, excellent score, Kaipo. So the GOAT, he's on the trail.
Yeah, this is an 8-point ride for the opener for Kelly Slater.
And a lot of that was due to, you know, how square that wave was. It was a shallow, throaty barrel at backdoor. A few minutes, maybe 4 at tops.
Jack Robinson, wave number 3 again, and the backup. How did he do that?
Feel it when they light up, and you can feel the energy, and we're our full bore here at Pipeline.
We're checking out the replay right now, Strider, and that water view was beautiful. It was a full magician, a full Houdini. Where'd he come from, Ross? How'd he escape?
Well, you know who made that maneuver right there? I know it doesn't look like a maneuver, but it is. Popular's Bruce Irons and Andy Irons. Those guys were so good at letting go of the rail and getting one big backside pump in, and that's exactly what Robbo does right here. Look at that right there, big pump. Got him just that extra 4 to 5 feet ahead to get him away from that foam ball and break through. There, you know, that looked really dramatic, but he did the hard work before that with that big pump.
Kelly goes back door and comes through that section, no problem, beautifully ridden.
Pipeline barrel. But Kelly behind the A-frame right here, bottom turning straight into it, super deep Kaipo. So a quick barrel, but really deep. Conditions, because let's face it, the waves are perfect, but it's in the eye of the beholder. It's still gnarly out there. You got to commit yourself to these big, heavy drops. You don't want to hit the reef out here. So being committed at Pipeline is easier said than done.
We'll talk about committed. Straight from the buzzer, Ethan Ewing.
Nice one. Really deep there.
That is the way to start.
I mean, as usual, the technique. Does anybody do it technically as sound as Ethan Ewing?
You know what's cool? He's a fun story because much like Felipe, he's always kind of picked apart because he surfs so darn good in small waves.
Opportunities down there. And it's also referred to as Bitcoin Beach because you can use Bitcoin for anything you want down there. Hold up. Wow. There we go. That's exactly what we needed to wake this crowd.
See how long he takes to get out. Here we go. Nat Young so deep. I mean, that is behind it as you can get an A-frame back there. He is well behind the peak.
That was insane.
That's what you call backdooring a section right there. He is in the back door. Watch his board right here, really close to the foam ball and just scoots past it. I mean, that's going to feel like winning the lottery.
Watching the positioning in the surfers. And it looks like it's going to be Ivan Florence. He's under the curtain and he is out. Beautifully done.
Through that barrel. Watch him just pull it out of the hood. You can see that wind's picked up slightly there, gets spat out. But good way to start a heat. I mean, just a solid ride. Probably like a 6-point range.
We'll see. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, I'm not going to throw a score out there. Maybe I'm not the best judge, but man, I think the word positioning comes to mind, when you're talking about Pipeline, and it's really what separates the guys who consistently perform at that super high level is that positioning. Knowing where to be on the reef and then knowing how to position yourself and make those little adjustments.
And he kicks out. More waves hitting the reef right behind him. Let's take a look at Jordy Smith. Big drop. Pulls up in. Let's go the rail. And comes through. Wow.
I'll give that a little call.
Doing his job. But yeah, that was incredible. That was one of the biggest sets that I've seen out here since I've been out here, and that drop was just so critical. And he just let go of his rail and just stood there and then started pumping, and yeah, incredible.
We're getting the visions right now, Laura, on the replay, and thanks for the reporting out in the channel. What a moment. And the hits continue here. Day number 1 at the Billabong Pro. Take a look at this, Shane.
Just the technical ability that takes to do that will be an epic ride in 30 years. Nothing will ever change with that. That is incredible, amazing technical surfing.
Can I ask you something though? The G-force that you're feeling when you're going down a wave that steep and what it takes to kind of readjust your line to get under the hood. What does that feel like?
Nation round Heat 3, Chris Cote with Ross Williams. Enough about us. Let's talk about these guys in the water. Absolutely sending it over the ledge. Back-to-back waves. Jake Marshall starts us off. Frederico Morais.
Getting the best wave they've ever got at Pipe and Backdoor in their life in a heat. Because this crowd, when you're free surfing, is so tough. So they're learning on the fly, so to speak, right now. And what a way to do it, Chris.
Love to hear that. Let's talk about the technical abilities here of Frederico Morais. That's a big guy in a wild barrel.
Holy moly. Easily the best barrel I've ever seen him get, for sure. I mean, he was perfectly slotted behind. He was a little out of control, which was very cool. It was fun to watch. He was grabbing his rail. When we were looking into the barrel, you saw his board start sliding over the foam ball, and he regained control right there. Got a little extension, Chris, through the sandbar section. I mean, beautiful, beautiful barrel ride there for Frederico. That's a natural high right there. He is stoked.
I really like when these elimination rounds quickly follow the non